And tell Manny Pacquiao come back over here. He been here before. He done broke records here before. He's a legend of the sport. And it'd be my honor to fight him next.
Often in boxing, you hear of fighters defying the odds. But for two generational talents in the welterweight division, you have seen it, you have lived it, and you have felt it. Manny Pacquiao is the only 8-division champion in the timeline that is boxing's history. Pacquiao has defied the odds, both with his superlative talent and his ability to defeat Father Time.
I can't believe he's 40 years old and still fighting like this.
At 42 years old, this may be the last time we see one of the greatest fighters of all time in the ring. Pacquiao, a sitting senator of the Philippines, is rumored in 2022 to be a candidate for president of his home country.
Let's talk about that. This is my first time actually getting to watch the entire episode of Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence Fight Camp, PBC Fight Camp. Basically, it's a build-up docu-series that they have before every PBC on Fox pay-per-view. If it was Showtime, it would be called All Access. If it were HBO, when they were still in boxing, it would be HBO 24/7. Overall, these episodes can be hit or miss, but for the most part, they are pretty good and informative. I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com, and what we're going to do is we're going to recap the episode. I got some timestamps for you here, and it's pretty cut and dry. Manny Pacquiao, 42 years old. He'll be 43 later on this year in December. And the question many have is, did he get old overnight? And fighting a fighter by the name of, or by the likes of Errol Spence, coming off of a 2+ year layoff, because by the time he gets into the ring, Manny Pacquiao will have been on a 25-month layoff since he defeated Keith Thurman via split decision back in July the 20th of 2020. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say right now that, listen, I don't have the confidence right now to pick Manny Pacquiao confidently to defeat Errol Spence. Now, do I think he can do it? Of course. He's Manny Pacquiao, 62-7-2 with, 39 KOs, 8th division champion. You know, who am I to, doubt him? And even when it came to Keith Thurman, I had my doubts. But of course, I think majority pretty much predicted that he would beat Adrian Broner. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of a jump cut, and we're going to jump into the meat of the episode. So please take your time out, like the video, subscribe. We cover every single major fight live. And now the fight is Alexa. Alexa, how many days until August the 21st?
August 21st is in 15 days.
15 days until the fight. It's going to be $74.99 on pay-per-view. So far as it stands, there's no UK broadcaster. Manny Pacquiao just got a big win in court because a manager group, whatever they are, they tried to stop the fight and sue him. So the fight is going forward. The undercard is going to feature Yordenis Ugás defending his WBA super title, the one that was Manny Pacquiao's. Manny Pacquiao now the champion in recess. Basically, Manny Pacquiao don't have no belt. This is going to be when he fights Errol Spence for the WBC and IBF belts that he has from defeating Kell Brook and then defeating Sean Porter. So, the undercard, Yordenis Ugás for the WBA Super versus Fabián Maidana, the brother of Marcos Maidana. You're going to have a blast from the past in a fight that I'm actually looking forward to. Robert the Ghost Guerrero versus Víctor Ortiz. Both, weren't they back-to-back Mayweather opponents? Or was it Ortiz, Cotto, and then Robert Guerrero? I forget, but they're fighting. Crazy, right? I put all the information down below in the description box for the undercard. Please take your time out. Follow me on Twitter at TstreetContra. And I understand how it works. To Filipino fans, he's a god, okay? But the problem I have is how his fans can be a little bit delusional when they come here, or to other YouTubers' channels, pissing on us because we have our opinions about maybe it's time. Maybe Manny Pacquiao has bitten off a little more than he can chew, especially since he's going to be running for president. But let me shut up. Let's get back to the episode and take this jump cut. Please subscribe and TstreeT Controversy.
4 years.
Errol Spence Jr. What a performance!
Now, Spence has the biggest opportunity of his career. For if he defeats the legend, Manny Pacquiao, it will check the box on his resume, taking him to the level of transcendent superstar. On August 21st, at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, two fighters, one already an all-time great, the other well on his way, will face off generation versus generation in one of the great welterweight world championship fights of the last decade. On that night, we will see if Manny Pacquiao or Errol Spence Jr. can defy the odds one more time. Welcome to PBC Fight Camp. Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence Jr.
A lot of people are going to find this a little distasteful, but for a guy who's been around in boxing so long, Eli Sekbak still be saying some of the dumbest shit. Now, I'm not necessarily saying here, but I'm just saying overall. Oh, my bad. My DVR is a little funky. There we go.
They wouldn't come out like that. The manager's different.
Oh, my bad. That Manny Pacquiao song was going to get me copyrighted. So I look at it like this. The keys to the fight to me are going to be the jab, and if Manny Pacquiao in this 2-year layoff, you know, is he going to show some signs of age? Now, we've seen over the years, you know, the last several years, he's become more of a boxer and not a slugger. That's going to come with age. However, he still maintains the power to be able to knock you down with either that, you know, left, straight left that's no myth, or, you know, body shot like he did with Keith Thurman hurting him. But will he get old overnight? Now, Errol Spence, people keep bringing up the accident. In my opinion, against the fight against Danny Garcia, he looked phenomenal. Yes, the fight against Sean Porter, you know, he had to dig deep, but who doesn't have to dig deep against Sean Porter? You see what I'm saying? So the question is, to me, the key is, will Manny Pacquiao be able to outbox Errol Spence? Or it's like, if he can't outbox him, he's clearly going to have to knock him out. And I'm sorry, it's hard to pick against him. It's just difficult.
Has never wavered.
I love the way I punish myself in training. Boxing is about hard work. I like working hard. That's how you become a champion. When the time comes that you become lazy, then forget about boxing.
I remember telling Manny one time, I said, Manny, when you start slowing down and your work ethic isn't that great, that's when I'm going to tell you to retire. And the other day he asked me, he said, Freddie, am I over the hill? I said, no, Manny, you're not over the hill yet.
It seems like a simple form.
You know, for, you know, a 42-year-old, you know, I'm going to go ahead and say, I've been saying for years now that in this day and age and with modern medicine and technology, 40 is not really old, you know, in a lot of sports and in boxing. And you even see in mixed martial arts where they have to do so much more from ground game and grappling and all of that, that is really not that old. A lot of, you know, athletes can compete at a high level. And also a lot of fans have been raising the question of, well, you know, that layoff could work both ways. For a guy like Manny Pacquiao not taking damage, having that layoff is why maybe he's still able to do the things that he's still able to do. But one thing for sure is this Olympian right here, this dude ain't no joke. 27-0 with 21 KOs. Now, he's got a lot that he's got to deal with too, because his nemesis right now, people want him to fight Terrence Crawford. If you don't know, there was a deal on the table, according to Top Rank and Terrence Crawford, for Manny Pacquiao and Terrence Crawford, but the Saudi Arabians got strange with the change. And the way Manny Pacquiao's been operating lately is he's going to fight whoever's got his money, whatever that guaranteed amount is. You know, Manny Pacquiao don't care who he fights. There's no politics with him. If you got the money to pay him, you know, then he'll fight you. And one of my theories is Manny Pacquiao was made champion in recess because it seems as though that he really may have fought Mikey Garcia on another platform, possibly DAZN, or fought Terrence Crawford over on ESPN. So since I hate the WBA, hate is a strong word, I can't stand that organization. My theory is they did some bullshit because they wanted to keep that belt in the PBC stable, so they elevated Yordenis Ugás prematurely, you know, and now Manny Pacquiao don't have no belt, and they couldn't just demote Yordenis Ugás. You see what I'm saying? So the WBA is a shitty organization, and right now, if I'm correct, how many champions do they have at 147 pounds? Is it 4 or 5? Yeah, they got the champion in recess, Manny Pacquiao. By the way, my website, fightview360.com. The link is down below in the description box. Make sure you take your time out, like the video. Yordenis Ugás, WBA super champion. Manny Pacquiao, champion in recess. Jamal James, WBA gold, world, and Víctor Ortiz, the WBA gold, whatever the fuck that means. And I've asked the WBA president himself, and he don't even know what that means. And let me guess, he just had a weigh-in. He's facing Luis Collazo and Gabriel Matri. They're fighting tomorrow night. So let me see something here. I wouldn't be surprised if he's fighting for the WBA interim tomorrow night against Luis Collazo. I would not be surprised. Look, it doesn't say it there, but I wouldn't be surprised. Disgusting WBA. Makes me sick. Now, regarding Errol Spence, we were just talking about him before I got sidetracked. Danny Garcia showing Porter, Mikey Garcia. Okay, we knew the Mikey Garcia fight was the money fight. Carlos Ocampo was his IBF mandatory. Lamont Peterson was a very, very solid fight. He went over to the UK to beat Kell Brook. Kell Brook's got some big balls on him, by the way. He fought Golovkin at 160 on short notice, then moved back down to 147, where fans told him he shouldn't be, to fight Kell Brook until he got his eye socket broken. And he was doing pretty good in that fight. He was holding his ground, but he got his other eye socket broken. I was at Errol Spence versus Chris Algieri in the Barclays Center. And now he's a star. What is this now? His 4th straight PBC on Fox pay-per-view? I'm thinking this fight's going to do really, really well. The tickets for Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence are extremely expensive. I'm talking about, we were looking at him during the Manny Pacquiao media workout, which was really just a media day. That video's a couple of videos before this on the channel. Is that Big J? No. Tickets are expensive. You know, just to get in a building, it was looking like $750. Mid-tier seats, $1,500. And to sit anywhere, you know, in the lower area was $5,000. Now, for Manny Pacquiao, for what could potentially be his last fight, that's, you know, I expect it. Now, one thing Manny Pacquiao did say during the media day a few days ago to Baby Hands Ray Flores is that, you know, he's going to make his decision on if he's going to run for Filipino president in September. That's when he has to make his decision. I think he's going to do it. But also, he didn't rule out it being like this being his last fight, win or loss. I don't know how that would work. And some fans let me know, like, he can't fight and train if he's the president, right? Like, you don't have, like, vacation time. I mean, how would that work? I don't think he can do it. But also, there's some fans that were saying that, you know, he would have no chance in hell to win the election to be president of the Philippines. Can somebody fill me in on that? Like, does he have an actual chance to win? Now, let's get back to the episode, show you some more clips. And also, one thing I've noticed is if you want to watch what they're calling the full episode of PBC Fight Camp Episode 1, you can watch it on the PBC on Fox YouTube page, but it's not the full episode. It's only 8 minutes long. Now, I understand the one I'm watching got commercials and everything because it's on my DVR. I have Verizon Fios. But still, that's not the full episode. And I've noticed they did that before with previous PBC on fight camps where they chop certain stuff out of it. So this week, on the 8th, is going to be PBC Countdown. It's a whole hour build-up show for Pacquiao versus Errol Spence. Then episode 2 is going to be the week of the fight. This is all on Fox, free TV Fox. So I'm not your TV guide. No disrespect. Here in the States, check your local listings. All right? And I don't know what's going on with the overseas broadcasters, you know, with the event. So another jump cut. We're going to watch some more clips. Be right back. Please subscribe, like the video.
Two worked together to rebuild Spence, both mentally and physically, as he defended his titles against former world champion Danny Garcia.
Vitally important to see the effects of that car crash on Errol Spence. Oh, there's a hard left hand by Errol Spence, drives Garcia back. Danny Garcia's eye is getting marked up, not closed just yet, but that jab has found a home right on the eye, left eye of Danny Garcia.
It looks like Spence is winning round after round.
And Errol Spence Jr. looks like his old self. No ill effects from the car accident. His hands are fluid. It's effortless. He's looked terrific here tonight. This has just been an outstanding look for the welterweight champion of the world.
And still, the undefeated unified welterweight champion of the world, the truth.
I know that a lot of people don't rate Danny Garcia very highly, you know, especially to super hardcore critical fans. But that was a very solid win for a comeback after what he had went through with the car accident. And frankly, I'm tired of talking about the motherfucking car accident. Like, you know, and like I'm tired of talking about it. Like, he's back now. You know, but my concern was how would he take a punch? Because, you know, if you don't know, he had some surgery, you know, with his grill, lost his teeth, some other things going on. So I was like, you know, how would he take a punch? And there was many rumors that he was having some significant issues with his back and probably, you know, was it going to come back and be the same again? But he looked great. You know, now could some potential issues show up with this fight? You know, Manny Pacquiao is no Danny Garcia. You know, even a 42-year-old Manny Pacquiao is better than Danny Garcia. I would pick, and it's, listen, I'm sorry, Philly. Listen, it's not, listen, I'm keeping the trip. All right? I like Danny Garcia. But Danny Garcia at 147 ain't do nothing for me. But however, Danny Garcia has been, you know, slowing down. So I would pick Manny Pacquiao today to beat Danny Garcia. Sorry. But however, I can't pick Manny Pacquiao to defeat Errol Spence. I just can't do it. Unless Errol Spence does some shit like Charlo did and not listen to his trainer when his trainer tell him, yo, stay off the ropes. Everything Derrick James was telling him, what was saying to Charlo? Everything he's getting, you're giving to him. You see what I'm saying? In this case, you're going to have Manny Pacquiao, southpaw, going against a young, what is he, 11 years younger? Errol Spence, you know, also a southpaw. Errol Spence known he can be a slugger, but he's, you know, I'm going to go ahead and say that he should be the better, fresher, he should be the better overall boxer in there. Manny Pacquiao is a fighter, an AIDS fighter. Now, if it was 5 years ago, you know, I probably would still pick Errol Spence. Excuse me. Anyway, but that's what listen, we are not always supposed to agree. And I hate to keep using language like this, but TstreeT loves vagina. I love vagina. I'm not here to perform fellatio on boxers. Like, I'm calling it like I see it, and it's my opinion. We're not supposed to always agree. If we agree, then that means I'm sucking cock. I'm not going to do it. Like, unlike other YouTubers, there's not a black thing here. It's not a race thing. You know, and for the Filipino fans, y'all gonna be some bigot-filled motherfuckers coming in here with the comments and shit, call me black, Negro, nigger, you know. But one thing, we're all boxing fans and we're family. And I'm gonna be here on fight night. I ain't never missed no Manny Pacquiao fight in fucking 10 plus years on YouTube. I've covered every Manny Pacquiao fight. I'm not going nowhere. I've covered every Errol Spence fight since when? He was fighting on Golden Boy FS1. The first ever Errol Spence fight I ever covered on YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't remember. As I'm looking at his resume, I don't remember. It's somewhere in here, 2014, somewhere in here. Somewhere in here. But I definitely covered him versus Sammy Vargas, definitely covered him versus Phil LaGreco. I covered all of these, and I've been to a few of them. The man is the truth. But you know what, though? I'm not going to, get too deep in it. I don't think he beats Terence Crawford. Yeah, that's controversial, but let's get back to the episode. Please subscribe, take your time out, like the video.
Errol, Spence Jr.
Dip on the outside, you out there.
After a dominant comeback performance, Spence is now focused on Manny Pacquiao. So taking daughters Ivy and Violet to work is extra motivation for the unified welterweight champion.
We're going to stop it right there with that copyrighted music, okay? We'll be right back. Jump cut for me.
I mean, I think he'll retire to this fight. I mean, he has a lot of obligations in the Philippines, knowing what I can do and knowing that what I want to do, I don't see him coming back anytime soon or ever. Outside the ring is nothing but respect. I respect his legacy. I respect him as a person. I respect his humility and things like that. But once that bell rings, once you get in the ring, all the respect goes out the window. And, it's basically a young line on the old line, and I'm finna take his kingdom.
A long, hard day of training at the gym doesn't only exhaust Spence, but his 4-year-old daughter.
No, because basically he's saying, I'm going to retire Manny Pacquiao. Pretty much. But Errol Spence has always been a respectful dude, not really a trash talker unless you say some shit to him and bring it out. But one thing people have been bringing up is like how differently he talks and everything. I mean, I told y'all, the man got brand new motherfucking teeth. I'm glad that he's not all out there like with the drinking like he was. Listen, I need not be talking. I used to be a fucking drunk party animal too. But I'm glad he's not all out there with it because it was scary like seeing him at events. And I used to be at some where he used to be like sauced. Regis Prograrius. Remember that whole thing? So it's good to see, that if he is, enjoying himself, as, he's an adult, he can do, that it's not all out there in the public like it was.
Many athletes have political aspirations that come to fruition after their careers have ended. But most things Manny Pacquiao does defy the odds. In 2010, Pacquiao, in the prime of his boxing career, was elected to the Philippines House of Representatives. 6 years later, he became a senator. Now at 42 years old, Senator Pacquiao of the Philippines is training for an opportunity to become the unified welterweight champion of the world. Albeit, balancing both occupations isn't always easy.
Being a leader has a discipline in time management, everything. You can manage it. Underestimate me, but in my heart, I will serve honestly to the people, and I'm still a champion.
I know he's a senator right now, and I said, Manny, you can't get this time off. We're in the middle of training camp. I mean, so this training camp is very important, and he's ready. I promise you, I'll be there. I'll be there.
I want to help people. I want to do the right things in politics, to be a role model and inspiration.
That's also, something to worry about too. The time management. Like when you're a fighter, you can't be part-time. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I already said what I had to say. I have concerns. His age, the layoff, he's going against another southpaw. If he were to win, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, despite Floyd Mayweather being undefeated, I'm going to say his resume or his resume and his legacy is better.
To me because, when I was growing up, I didn't have anybody to look up to or anybody that I idolized for my city. So, for me, it's...
Hold on, I forgot my last timestamp here. But it's going to be real interesting to see who he fights next. I don't think it's going to be Terrence Crawford if Errol Spence were to win. I think if Manny Pacquiao were to win, it would be Terrence Crawford. By the way, is there a rematch clause? We haven't heard anything about it. But I think that he would fight the winner of Yordenis Ugás versus Fabián Maidana, just to make sure he officially captures that belt. And I like Yordenis Ugás. I would say that was I would rate that fight, 60-40 for Spence. I wouldn't feel confident saying that Errol Spence would just straight beat him out boxing.
You gotta be willing to.
It would be tricky for him.
Yeah, you don't know everything. Like even me, I don't know everything. Yeah, I'm still learning. My coach still always in my ear.
But let's take our last jump cut because we're already at 30 minutes. I don't want to run this late in the video. Hold on for a minute. We'll be back. Please take your time out. Subscribe and like the video. We'll be here every week. Multiple Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence videos.
The world is hungry, focused, and understands what this fight means to his legacy. On August 21st, the 42-year-old transcendent boxing legend will take on the 31-year-old legend in the making at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, with the unified welterweight world championship on the line. Two great champions who have taught us all that defying the odds can be the mark you leave. Defying the odds can become part of your narrative. And defying the odds can one day become your norm.
Well, damn, that's it. That's the end of the episode. So overall, I'm going to rate the episode a 6 out of 10. Kind of harsh. Normally I use, kind of harsh, but, we didn't really learn anything new. I understand that, the first episode is not only to appeal to us, the hardcores, who know everything about these fighters, but also, to new viewers. New viewers did get, oh, okay, Errol Spence, oh, he's got the other belt. I mean, I don't know. I'm just wasn't really feeling the episode. And I can understand that, because Manny Pacquiao is not really a trash talker and Errol Spence is not a trash talker. Now, the Manny Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman PBC fight camp, those were some good episodes. The Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia, those were some good episodes. They can be hit or miss. Episode 2 is going to be next week. This week is a 1-hour build-up content special. Basically, the press conference, media members talking about the fight, etc., etc. I would have loved for them to have a PBC face-to-face where both of the fighters sit down and, being asked questions by Brian Campbell, but PBC on Fox axed that show. So once again, it's going to be Manny Pacquiao versus Errol Spence for the WBC and IBF. And Ring Magazine, is the Ring Magazine title on the line? 147-pound titles. Then you're going to have Yordenis Ugás defending his WBA super title after being elevated from world against Fabián Maidana. Robert Guerrero versus Víctor Ortiz. I'm really, really excited about that fight. And then I forgot what the other fight is on the card, but I put it down below in the description box. Expect for the pay-per-view to be about $75. I wouldn't be surprised if they do 80. I didn't get a chance to check on my DVR. Also, there's no overseas broadcaster yet for the fight because Sky Sports is now top ranked. So I wonder what they're going to do, about it over in the UK. Be crazy if the Zone was able to get the rights over in the UK, but highly unlikely. Manny Pacquiao may run for president. Could be his last fight. Terrence Crawford has a purse bid coming up with Sean Porter. I hope that fight happens. Then the winner of all of this can fight each other. Yordenis Ugás can wait. But we'll see. I'm TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. Please take your time out, like the video, subscribe. We will be here on Fight Night, likely doing a live commentary stream. We'll see, though, how we feel. Please subscribe.